As members of of the Natural Resources Committee, we have all taken an interest in trying to ensure that we try to protect and ensure the long-term viability of investments that have been made by the federal government to assist our local communities and our regions over decades. This Member Day allows us to advocate on behalf of certain areas of interest and projects that we've been engaged in. The infrastructure that has been a key part and parcel of the West and California's development over decades as it relates to water usage is well known. But unfortunately, the fact of the matter is that our infrastructure has been rated by the Society of American Engineers as a D+ in 2017. A D+. I need not remind all of us that that's not a very good grade. We're living, I believe, off the investments that have been made by our parents and our grandparents a generation or two ago. And we're only going to continue to see the adverse effects of climate change and sea levels rising, a need to mitigate through smart and efficient infrastructure planning. In the San Joaquin Valley, where Congressman Costa and I and other of our colleagues represent, we're also having an additional challenge of land subsidence that is impacting our infrastructure. And so I want to take this time to talk about the imbalance that continues as our state grows and has more demands on our water resources. With climate change, we must update our laws to reflect the new reality of the impacts that climate change is having. The committee of which I have the honor to serve on with all of us has the jurisdiction over one of the key issues of the San Joaquin Valley and California, and that's water. Where water flows, food grows. We know that. The water infrastructure of the Central Valley Project, operated by the Bureau of Reclamation, really implemented in the late 1950s, forms the foundation of our local economy. It ensures that we have a safe, reliable water supply that not only irrigates our farms, provides water to our cities and our local communities, and really has allowed California to develop post-World War II. We have 2/3 of California's population living where there's little water, period. And so while we know that droughts are becoming more severe, floods are becoming more impactful, the resources of our community are continually strained as a result. Now more than ever, in this committee, the Natural Resources Committee, we need to act in a bipartisan way and in a constructive fashion to invest in our water storage, our conveyance, our conservation, and to meet current and future needs of our valley. I want to commend the chairman of this committee for taking the time to come with Congressman Cox and myself to personally firsthand see the challenges that we face in our infrastructure. 2 years ago, we authorized with Senator Feinstein and Congressman McCarthy a bipartisan piece of legislation called the Water Infrastructure Improvements for the Nation Act, otherwise known as the WIN Act. We need to address the capacity killing subsidence issues on the Bryant-Kern Canal that provides a major water corridor to move water from north to south. Subsidence is dramatically impacting its ability to do so. I'm certain that Congressman Cox will speak in more detail. We need to fund the San Luis Dam seismic retrofit that was authorized in the WIN Act. In doing so, we can expand the capacity of the San Luis Reservoir by as much as maybe 140,000 acre-feet of water. And the CDI Canal that, like on the west side, like the Bryant-Kern Canal does on the east side, provides key corridor of water to the west side of our valley, both in Congressman Cox's district and in mine. We need to also address the rehabilitation and infrastructure of the Mendota Pool. That was a part of the San Joaquin River Restoration Act. It's really a major key central focus, the Mendota Pool, that will allow us to better manage our water resources. In addition to that, we have the Del Porto, Los Vasqueros, Sites Reservoir. All of these are projects that go with real benefits to the people of California, and they're partnerships, local, state, and federal. And that's really how we've been successful over the last post-World War II, local, state, and federal projects. We should encourage the development of climate-resilient technologies to use all the water tools in our water toolbox. And we should expand federal financing for new water projects as part of those water tool in our water toolbox. And we must work together for these goals because it's the only way we can get it done. So let's do the work we need to do, that we were sent here to do, for the future of our communities that depend upon it, for our farm workers, our campesinos, for the farmers, dairymen and dairy women, and for the greater good of the long-term benefits of California. I thank you, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Thank you, Mr.